Good Thursday evening, everybody. Welcome to the Dirt Racing Network, a part of the Digital Sim Sports Network, and our live coverage of the Netcode Esports Mighty Midget Series round number 6, I-55 Federated Auto Parts Speedway, Pevely, Missouri. The scene of the action this evening. 16 of the most amazing midget pilots in the world have checked in for tonight's action. Watching them in a little bit of practice. Getting ready to go to qualifying. Double show for you tonight. Qualifying heats feature. Show number 1, show number 2. Random draw for heats. And then right into the feature. Plenty of drivers ready to pick up where they left off over the last couple of weeks. I want to thank my good friend, K.R. Stallfish, for jumping in here last Thursday night and covering the action for you while I was away. Took myself down to the Big D, and my wife and I went to a little musical extravaganza. It was a lot of fun. I did watch a little bit of the show. I did see some of you guys in chat. I want to thank you for getting in there and keeping things going with KR. Let's see. Billy Barros rolling around out here. Already on the track for qualifying. He's on the clock for lap number 1. Took it up high, cut it down low. Looked like the car slid quite a bit. Coming out at 2 right there. He probably lost a little bit of time, but that was a warm-up lap. This time, he's going to go for the actual timed lap. A little better through 2. That time car didn't slide nearly as much on the exit. And Barros to the top. 12.78. I do not have any idea what is going on here. These overlays are acting up. I feel like something happened to them. I am trying to fix this, guys. They were showing up just fine until we swapped. And now nothing wants to come in. It's like my HUD isn't working at all. So we're going to restart these. I'm sorry you guys have to witness this, but this is very frustrating to me because everything was working fine on Tuesday night when I did my show. And tonight, it doesn't look like anything is going to work. So let's get those out of the way. Let's see if we can actually make something happen here. See if these will load. Just because. Something is going on with my HUD. Yeah, because it's right. Oh, my God. Every bit of that is correct. Every single solitary bit is correct. There's nothing I'm doing wrong here. Well, I'm going to probably have to wing this all night long, guys, because I cannot for the life of me figure out what happened. Everything worked fine Tuesday night. But we're going to get ready. I don't even have grid, do I? Nope, I do not have grid. So, with the change, I'm going to read this. As soon as I can get the graphics fixed, guys, I promise I will. We're going to do it. There we go. What is going on now? All of a sudden it's back. That's just out here in squirrel poop. But whatever. It's going to be Billy Barros in the 38, Colton Snyder in the 24. Starting on your front row, Ryland Gray, the 06. Next two, Reed Brochart in the 93. And then the back row, Riley Scott, the 88. J.D. Laird in the 23. Yeah, it's all working. I don't know. Maybe I'm just losing it. Either way, we're going to have some great racing. We'll see if they kick that pace truck off down here in turn number 4. And if they do, we're going to go green. It looks like they're going to do just that. So the green flag about to wave. Heat number 1, we're underway. A 6-car heat and a couple of 5s is what I think we're going to have here. Ryland Gray quickly to the point. Started inside the second row, and he leads lap number 1. Barros still hanging in for second. He's got a challenge. Colton Snyder looked up the inside. Wasn't able to make the pass on Barros, and now Snyder and Brochart are going to go side by side. Snyder grabs third away, at least for the time being, but Brochart with a big run out of 4. Now Snyder's going to go to the top side. He's going to take that momentum line. Ryland Gray starting to run away with this thing. 4 to go. Heat number 1, Ryland Gray. 0.6 of a second in front of Billy Barros. Colton Snyder hanging on to third, but Brochart now going back to the bottom and trying to find a way to get around that 24 car. Just cannot do it there. Loses some ground in 1 and 2. As he's going to go back to the top shelf. Looks like the bottom might be a little quicker because Snyder kind of reels in Barros right there. Then he loses him on the exits. White flag coming out this time around. Heat number 1 almost in the books. It's been Ryland Gray since we got to turn 3 on lap number 1. And he is going to run away with this one. Gray wins it. Barros second. Snyder third. Brochart fourth. Scott in fifth. And J.D. Laird took that 23 car to the infield a couple of laps ago. So we'll get ready for heat race number 2. Going to grid them out with Thibaut Brandon, the 49 car on pole. David Krikorian in the 66 car, keeping up his momentum for the season. He'll start outside row number 1. James Turnbull, the 02 car, inside of row number 2 with Josh Kosick in the 22 on the outside. And then your back row for heat race number 2. The 16 of Tucker Holliday. Next to Mike Gebhardt in the 81. That may be why that was acting up. So we'll remedy that. But we said that like we meant it. Green flag in the air. Brandon trying to grab the lead and hang on to it. Down on the bottom, Turnbull going to make a bid for the lead. He could not do what Ryland Gray did in heat number 1. Brandon leads lap number 1, but Turnbull not giving up on the bottom. Krikorian is third. Kosick and Holliday battling side by side. And Holliday off the bottom, had the spot for a moment, but at the line, Kosick took it back. Whatever. None of that is coming up. Piss me off. Still, Brandon out in front. Turnbull, Krikorian, top 3. Kosick has 4th cleanly away from Holliday and Gebhardt. Running rounding in the 6th and final spot. 2 to go this time around. And Brannon comfortably out in front, 5-6 car lengths. Turnbull thought about a slider right there, but he did not have the angle or the momentum, and it wasn't going to work out. So he is just going to fight to hang on to second as Krikorian went to the bottom to try to steal it away at the line. Couldn't get it done. Brandon, Turnbull, Krikorian, Kosick, Holiday, and Geppert. The order as we will get ready for our third and final heat. 6 cars. So we ended up with 18 drivers checking in. Somebody checked in right at the last second. And it'll be Kyle Hooper in the 14 car on the pole with Robert Lynn in the 2 on his outside for your front row, heat 3. And then Josh Gerlach, 71 car, or row 2 inside next to Bobby Yankee in the 28. And the back row, up the inside, Wayne Anelski, the 13 on his outside, the 08, D.L. Lemon. That's who snuck in at the very end. Wayne Anelski snuck in. Had to be, because I didn't see his name when I got in here. And I saw him jump in the chat. So we'll get the pace truck out of the way. 8 laps. Green flag. Great jump by Hooper. He got a fantastic start. And I don't think the inside of that second row is going to be able to challenge. Yeah, not now. He tapped the fence with the left front, getting out of the corner. Gerlach going to hold it in third. He was battling with Lynn. Hooper led lap 1. Josh Gerlach trying to take second away, and he's got it on the inside right now. We'll see if he can hang on to that. Now going to pull up alongside the 14 of Hooper for the lead. There's just a lot of momentum off the top, and that time Lynn took the spot back. Robert Lynn working the top side. Got Bobby Yankee in tow right behind him. They are all reeling in the leader as we got a 4-car battle for the front. Lynn having to really be careful through 1 and 2 not to get into the back end of the 14, and that may slow him up enough. He's going to lose second. Now might lose third to Yankee right here as Yankee screams around the outside. Gerlach had the lead. We're coming around to 2 to go. Josh Gerlach on the bottom. Going to grab the front spot. Hooper still fighting on the outside. Bobby Yankee's finding some momentum up top. Just got the 14 car in his way. White flag coming out this time. Gerlach out of 4. Gives the spot back. Had to check up mid-corner. Car got a little too sideways, and Hooper took it back. Hooper cuts the bottom off on Gerlach. He's going to win heat 3. Gerlach second, Yankee third. Lynn, Anelski, and Lemon. Great finish right there. That's what the feature has in store. We're in for a heck of a show tonight. So the top 2 from each heat race went to our redraw. We'll show you that when we get ready to roll off tonight for the big 30-lap feature. Got the drivers out here making some laps. Looked like the 2 grooves were actually starting to come pretty close together on speed. So we're going to try to aid that along with just a few minutes of the practice session. Guys, don't forget about Sunday night. 8 o'clock Eastern, MARS Series back. Starting things off on the pavement with week number 1. They will alternate. 1 week on the pavement, 1 week on the dirt, back and forth until about April. So make sure that you mark your calendars for that. Going to be a heck of a season. They're going to have an individual asphalt and dirt champion and then an overall Midwest Area Racing Series champion at the end of the season. You weren't here Tuesday night. A little bit of an auspicious start, but a pretty good start for the Short Track Showdown Series boys at South Boston. Saw a new driver to the series pick up his first win in his first start. They're back Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday right now. Full slate. Mars on Sunday, DSRL's back on Monday. Short Track Showdown Series on Tuesdays, and we get back in here again next Thursday. See everybody over on YouTube chatting it up. Guys, don't matter where you're at. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Trovo. Say hi in the chat. We can see you. Let us know where you're watching from. Call out to your favorite drivers. Should just be a couple of more minutes here, I think, and then they will get ready to advance the session. Admin's trying to get a few laps in before he flips the switch. And we line the drivers up. Top 6. We're in the redraw. Don't know what that number was yet. Have not been informed. Looks like the session has ended. Like I said, the front 3 rows may very well invert. So we'll start in row number 4 with Colton Snyder on the inside, David Krikorian on the outside of that row in the 8th position. Bobby Yankee's going to start inside row number 5 next to Reed Brochart. Josh Kosick inside of your 6th row. You'll have Robert Lynn on his outside. And then Riley Scott and Tucker Holliday in row number 7. Wayne Anelski and J.D. Laird making up the 8th row. In the 9th and final row this evening, Mike Gebert and D.L. Lemon. Well, thank you, Mr. Vinny. I don't know if that's necessarily true, but the sentiment is most appreciated. When these guys roll off, we are going to find out what that redraw number was, because right now it's Gray and Brandon in row 1, Hooper and Barros in row 2, and Turnbull and Gerlich in row 3. And there goes Brandon to the inside. There goes Billy Barros to the front row with Ryland Gray on the outside. Then Brandon and Gerlach, Turnbull and Hooper. So a little flippity flop. 3 positions really is all that swapped. So the 18 cars are lined up and are ready to go. Pace truck will get out of the way down here in turn number 4. The first of 2 big features this evening. 35 laps on the board, and the green flag in the air. Round number 1 aiming. Netcode Esport Mighty Midgets, round number 6. Billy Barros from the pole, and he just jumped out in front, and there's your first caution. I think Mike Gephardt had a big problem. He and Bobby Yankee possibly getting together back here. The 81 machine. The inside, he looked, oh, that happened in front. He just got into this because Bobby Yankee's the one that actually had the problem. So let's go watch the 28 car instead. He's right in the middle of the pack. Had a great starting spot. Company behind. Oh, he checked up because Snyder got the fence, and then Mayhem behind him. He did the right thing, and he paid the price for it, is basically what happened there. So Yankees car hooked and cooked and already in the infield. We'll see if they can get that thing fixed. Maybe he can get back out here. But it looked like Colton Snyder maybe nicked the fence, and Yankee jumped out of the throttle and tried to maneuver to avoid hitting him, and he got punted from behind and then swatted in the left side. So the pace truck will get out of the way. Single file and restart. Still Barros, Gray, and Brandon the top three. Gerlach was fourth and Hooper was fifth. As we go back to green, cars spread all over back here in turns 1 and 2, top to bottom. As Krikorian went to the top side and went around Snyder. Fighting for the front, Barros and Gray, and Barros has got the top. Gray trying to work his way around the bottom. Billy Barros out of the corner. He's going to keep the lead. I think Gray misjudged his speed through the center of the quarter and had to adjust the car on the fly. Rylan Gray trying to get off the exits down on the bottom. And I think he's finding that there's a little bit of grip in the center down here in 3 and 4. Caution in the air once again. Oh, let's see. Colton Snyder may have had a problem. The 24 car. He's racing with David Krikorian. Got Reed Brochart tucked in behind. Did he jump the cushion? He certainly did. And then Robert Lynn gives him a little swat in the nose. And then another one from J.D. Laird. So that was just a case of overcooking his grits and getting it way up top. A little too much haste, and the right rear is going to hit that fence. And open wheel cars don't like touching a whole lot of anything except for the dirt underneath the car. So we'll slow things down about 5 laps in. Barros, Gray, Brandon, Hooper, Gerlach, Turnbull, Krikorian, Brochart, Lynn, and Holiday are the top 10. Bobby Yankee, the only car off the track in 18th. Scott, Anelski, Laird, Cossack, Lemon, Gephardt, and Snyder now back in 17th, making up the rest of the field. Looks like the pace truck's ready to get out of the way once again. We're going to go back to green. Starting lap number 6, Rylan Gray. Trying to time things up. He may have misjudged a little bit. We'll see if that gives Brandon any kind of juice on the top side to get around him, and it does not. In fact, Gray made a great run through the bottom of 1 and 2 on that lap. Thought he was going to have a shot at Barros, and Barros used the middle and just pulled right away again. Caution behind once again. This is closer to the back. There's a bunch of cars in this. Bobby Yankee made it back to the track several laps down. I don't know if that's what caused our... I don't know, that's what caused our problem. If it was this with Riley Scott right here in the 88. That's Holiday in front. Robert Lynn's up on the top side. Oh, yeah, got in there a little hot right front, or left front, right rear. And that actually was pretty tame for a right rear, left front contact. So we'll get them re-racked, ready to go. The tight confines of the I-55 Federated Auto Parts Speedway. And a little bit of bump and grind is what you're going to have sometimes. But these open wheel cars not really conducive to reacting very well to that. So we'll see if the guys settle down just a little bit. About 25 or about 20% of the way through this race. And we get some green laps in and see where these guys can go. I'll tell you someone I noticed an absence of. That was the Kiwi Conqueror. Not here tonight, so surprised he's missing a midget show. We're back to green, though. Barros and Gray. Brandon starting to give Gray a little bit of a tussle here as he is slider and counter. That time a little contact through 1 and 2. That's going to open the door for Hooper. Hooper may get them both. Nope, he couldn't even get one of them. Now he does. Now he gets Brandon. Rylan Gray staying married to the bottom in 3 and 4, but he is running a modified slider line in 1 and 2. And he is just getting eaten up down here on this end of the track. And this time it may very well be that 28 car of Yankee. Yep, overcooked it. And he'll head for the back of the field once again. So quick clouds of dust, and then we slow things down a little bit. Barros, Gray, Hooper, Brandon, Turnbull, Gerlach, Krikorian, Brochart, Holiday, and Anelski as we go back to green right here.
Green flag, green flag. All right, man.
And caution, Josh Kosick having a problem. The black and blue car right here in the middle of the screen. It looks okay here. Oh, got over the right rear. Yeah, yep. Just a 360. It doesn't matter. If you 360 and there's company coming, it is going to click a caution. It's inevitable every single time. He was able to keep that car going and was just going to rejoin right at the very back of the field, but already had been decided. Hooper got around Brandon in that exchange very quickly right there and was able to secure the 3rd spot. So that'll shift things a little bit. Barros, Gray, Hooper, Brandon, Turnbull, Gerlach, Krikorian, Brochart, and Holiday. Then Wayne and Elski. And Elski from way back up to a top 10 spot right now. So we're ready for Barros to get us back going. Up the backstretch one more time. Around through 3 and 4. 22 laps remaining. Billy Barros has led every lap. All 13 thus far. Mess behind. That's going to be Holiday. I saw Holiday go sideways. Holiday, the purple car. Into the corner. Oh, Josh Gerlach was already sideways. And Holiday really nowhere to go. Just kind of got into him right there. Gerlach got into 1 and 2. The car was just a little bit kicked sideways. And when Holiday came in there, a little side press action, and he could not avoid going around. So caution number 6, still going to be about 20 laps to go. Pace truck out of the way. Barros on the restart. They'll fan out 2, 3, even 4 wide right here. I don't think anybody's close enough for 4 wide. And Riley Scott and Mike Gebhardt right here at the end of the front stretch. And that was just because they got collected in an even bigger mess. Gebhardt ended up backwards, sitting down at 1 and 2. They'll get his car out of the way, take him to the infield. He may have a lot of suspension damage. He flipped, hit the fence, and then come back and slammed down on all 4. So did not get a lap in. I don't think we got 3 corners in right there. So still 20 laps to go. Pace truck getting out of the way. Barros held on to the last second. Gray had to defend because Hooper had a run. Brandon trying to get back in it. James Turnbull carried the front tires all the way down the backstretch on the top side the last time around. Hooper and Gray going at it side by side. Gray trying to use the momentum line, now trying to close off the entry line. He's got the momentum out of 4, takes second back. Big run through to caution, Cossack. And once again, Josh Cossack. Oh, he and Billy Holiday, not Billy, Tucker Holiday, side by side. Oh, and he just over-adjusted. He had room and just over-adjusted, and the car found the outside wall. So for about 3 laps there, Hooper and Gray really had some action going. I think if we can get this thing going and we can run a few green laps, you'll see a great race at the front, because Gray was finding momentum on the very top, and Hooper was using the middle to get up beside. He just couldn't seal the deal. Brandon was just looking for an opening there.
Green, green, green.
Green flag. Slow car down to the bottom 3 and 4. We'll see if Geppert gets back up to speed. It looks like he will. Hooper went after Gray again through the middle. Gray was able to use the top side and all that momentum. Big run out of the top of 2, and Barros now has got to hear that 6 car coming. And he may have to make an adjustment to his line, because Ryland Gray really has found something up here on the top in 1 and 2. Barros back to the middle, slider line. He's going to have company on the outside now. No way to shut him off. And he tried to do it late, had to check up. Ryland Gray out to the point. 13 laps to go that time. Took him 22 laps to get to the lead. Here comes Kyle Hooper. Now Brandon's got his hands full as Turnbull is trying to get after him for the 4th spot. James Turnbull, the winner earlier in the season, hasn't been back to victory lane again. Just looking for a place to race here. Wanted to go slider line, but Hooper had the exit line on that cut off. So Turnbull going to try to go top shelf and see if he can do what Gray was doing up there. Gray half a second out in front of Barros. Hooper 3rd. The battle we're watching. 4th and 5th. Tebow Brand in the red car. James Turnbull in the white car. That time slider, and it was for nothing, because Brandon will have the spot back. Holiday, Snyder, and Scott. Looks like, ooh, that was Wayne Anelski that's sideways, and everybody else. Holiday clipped him, Snyder clipped a piece, and then way late to the party, Riley Scott, he's going to end up back on his wheels. So down to the 10 to go mark. Caution number 9. Ryland Gray, Billy Barros, Kyle Hooper, Tebow Brandon, James Turnbull are your top 5. Josh Gerlach, Robert Lynn, J.D. Laird, David Krikorian, and Colton Snyder. Top 10, then D.L. Lemon, Reed Brochart, and Tucker Holiday, along with Wayne Anelski.
Green, green, green.
Gebhardt 2 laps down. We'll be able to pick up a couple of spots here before the end of this. And that'll probably be about as good as he can possibly finish his 15th tonight. 8 laps to go. Ryland Gray back under the green flag. He has the lead with Barros giving chase. Hooper trying to run Barros down in that 4th and 5th battle. Still being waged. Turnbull to the top side out of 4. He's going to take it away now. Can start to look at a podium finish as he focuses on the 14 car, and he's going to go slider right away. Caution. And Reed Brochart, maybe. First time we've seen him with really bad luck, if this is him. 1 and 2. That's going to be a chop down. Yeah, he was just running his line on the exit. And maybe he and DL Lemon getting together right there. So slowing the action down. We'll come back to it with 6 to go. Pace car getting out of the way. Ryland Gray didn't waste any time getting back on the throttle. As soon as that pace truck was gone, he jumped on it. I heard somebody hit the fence down here on the front stretch. We're going to go back to watching the battle. Yeah, I thought I heard somebody really rake the fence. Let's see if it was Wayne Anelski in that 13 car. Yeah, right there. Right rear rakes the fence, and I think he might have had an engine let go and not getting to the pits quite in time. Looks like the possibility of getting the caution back out. So Gebhardt is actually going to be able to work his way around to 14th now, being a couple of laps down with Anelski in the pits. Scott, Kosick, and Yonke all out as well. Gray, Barros, Hooper, Turnbull, and Brandon are the top 5. Josh Gerlach still hanging around in 6th. 5 laps to go. Long ways in the grand scheme of things, but it's going to go by pretty quick if they can stay green. Tight racing up on the top, and Turnbull's way out of shape. There goes one spot. He gives it back to Brandon. He almost got into the back of Hooper. Now Brandon coming up to the top side in 1 and 2. And he gets Hooper just a tiny bit. Hooper very slow across the center of the corner. And Turnbull now going to go slider on these guys. That was late, 360. He keeps it going with the car behind. I think that was David Krikorian, who is going to end up getting a piece of this. Hooper tried to close Brandon off. They touch. Gets Hooper out of shape. And then just trying to miss him contact. And Krikorian, wrong place, wrong time. And we'll have a 2-lap shootout to end things tonight in feature number 1. Lights still on all of the pace vehicles and all the safety crew. Now they go off. We'll go 1 to green. 2 a lap shootout. Green, white, checkers. Back to the front. Pace truck getting out of the way. Gray not wasting any time.
Green flag, green flag.
Trying to catch the guys behind him, maybe napping just a little bit, but he goes right to the top in 1 and 2. Down to the bottom on the slider line in 3 and 4. White flag in the air. Next flag ends the race. Barros slider in 1 and 2. He's not going to be able to get there on Gray. Got a little closer. That's Ryland Gray steps on it at the end. Barros wins it. Hooper and Brandon second and third. Then Turnbull and Gerlach fourth and fifth. And wow, Rylan Gray. Oh my. White flag right there. He is going to go down here into 3 and 4. Left front straight into the fence. And if there's a way you don't want to give it away, that most definitely was it. So Hooper and Brandon are here. We are waiting for Barros, but let's get Tebow in the booth with us. Tebow, Brandon, you got a copy?
I got a copy. How are you, Roger?
I am good. You were right where you needed to be at the right time, buddy. You're going to get a third place finish out of this deal. Tell us about the last couple of restarts.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting to. I was hanging out in fifth most of that race. Didn't feel like I had enough to win. The restarts really were. This track is really hard to pass on right now, and so it's all about those restarts. Kyle got past me based off just a little bit of contact, and there's just not enough there to get past him again. And then James was really coming along near the end there, and then he and Kyle got together, so I got past James on that. We had a little bit of contact, not intentional, of course, but it happens sometimes. I'm glad he was able to get a spot back. And then I don't know how I ended up crossing third, but I guess I'll take it. This is not a track that I've been super successful in. I'm barely scraping by to get podiums here, and so to nab one, it feels like a steal in it. I can't complain.
So you did not see what happened at the front?
Well, I just saw a car sliding sideways, and that's I decided to go underneath that because he was sliding up the track, and that was enough real estate down at the bottom to get past it cleanly. That was really all I was trying to do most of that race, is just to not flip over, and job well done, I guess. Yeah,
right place, right time. You were able to avoid the self-inflicted carnage and a podium finish, man. Give us some shout-outs and thank yous before we let you head over for the second server and round number 2 tonight.
Yeah, I got to throw a thanks to Varix.com for all your e-commerce needs. I want to thank Josh and Robert for always putting on a great show. I don't know who sponsored the broadcast tonight, but I appreciate them. I appreciate you, Roger. And shout out to my parents who are watching. Shout out to my wife who's always supporting.
All right, man. Congrats on a great run. We'll look forward to seeing you in feature number 2.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
That's Tebow Brandon. He finishes third in round number 1 tonight. Now let's move on and talk to our second place finisher in the 14 car. He had a lot of battles in the feature tonight. Kyle Hooper. It was an interesting one. What'd you see from your cockpit on that last lap?
At first I thought, man, Rylan's just going to rail the fence down and he's gone. And then I saw him block the bottom there, and me and Billy were nowhere near him. And I was wondering, that's odd. And then he hits the wall and flipped it, and I was surprised because he does not make much mistakes.
No, did not make very many in this race, and picked the worst possible time to make one. But it gives you a second place finish, man, and it seemed like you had a pretty good car from even back in the heat races.
Yeah, in the heat race, I didn't think the bottom was going to be that good there. You saw Rylan go to the bottom, and then in the first heat, and then in the second heat, you saw Bo Brandon win it on the top, and then I was kind of like, yeah, I think I'll be faster on the top here. And then I saw Josh show me the nose, and so I chopped him once, and then thought he would be away and not go back to the top. He came back at me, and then I finally won that.
Well, an awesome run. Second place in the first show. What do you think the second show is going to hold for you?
I definitely think the second show is going to be a lot tackier. I hope there's something to lean on in 1 and 2 at least, and we just got to stay conservative and pick up, be aggressive at the same time, and just watch the track too. And we got to make it up front faster when the track's getting worse.
All right, man, give us a quick couple of shout-outs, and we'll let you hit for server number 2.
I'd like to thank Elite Performance Industries with Tyler Payne, Rylan Gray Racing, Weekend Warrior Designs, 4-6 Graphics, Sawyer Chassis, Superior Auto Salvage, Ryan Hodge Racing, Ryan Hodge Inc. And that's about it.
All right, man. Well, congrats on a good run in show number 1. We'll look forward to seeing what you can do in show number 2.
Yep, thank you.
Kyle Hooper finishing second tonight. And he was exactly in the right place at exactly the right moment. He led a big majority of this thing. He ends up with the win. Billy Barros, last lap, turn 3. What were you thinking when you saw the 6 car heading for the wall?
You know, I was going to give him a run to that line anyway. I've been practicing that slider line all night, and I had sent it in there and just got super lucky that he tagged the wall. I feel bad for Rylan doing that. We had such a good battle all night, but hey, I am more than happy to take the win.
Yeah, it looked like you stayed pretty married to your line, and he found something up top. He had to have showed you the nose. You had to hear him a couple of times at least. No thoughts of trying to go up there and cover that down to 1 and 2?
Not really. That's the tough thing about being out front. The rare occasion I get to be out front and you're not seeing what's going on behind you. I could hear him, but we also had so many cautions that I don't think he was ever really able to get in the groove and get a run on me until we finally had that stretch and he got me. And then kind of same thing, roll reversal after that. Every caution that came out, I felt like I was right on his bumper again, about to put some pressure on, and had to fall back.
Well, a great run is show number 1. You did well in your heat. Also, we're going to mirror this in show number 2.
Hell yeah, let's go do it again.
All right, man, just a couple quick shout-outs before we let you head out.
Sounds good. Thank you, Roger, for covering the stream as always. Really appreciate it. Thanks to Josh and Robert for putting this thing together, and Robert especially for sponsoring the race this week. So, yeah, that's all I got.
All right, man. Thanks for chatting with us, and we'll look forward to seeing you in show number 2.
Sounds good.
Billy Barros winning round number 1 tonight. Let's look at the results real quick. Here we go. We got them to work. Barros, Hooper, Brandon, 1, 2, 3. Turnbull comes home 4th. Gerlach 5th. Lynn in 6th. Snyder 7th. 8th was Laird. Brochart 9th. Holiday 10th. Lemon 11th. 12th was Rylan Gray. And he led this thing going into turn 3 on the last lap. And a very big oops will put him in 12th spot. So we'll see if he can improve on that in round number 2. Gregorian 13th. Gebhardt 14th. Anelski 15th. 16th was Scott. 17th Cossack. And Babianchi with the early exit rounded out the field. That was show number 1. We're really not going to go anywhere. I'm going to put some graphics up. We're going to kick a little bit of music up for you. We are going to move servers, and when we come back, they will do a little bit of practice. We will random draw for your heat races, and then we're going to head right into your feature. So, guys, sit tight, chat it up, let me know you're out there, and when I get into the second server, we'll pick up where we left off. Be right back. right, well, it looks like we're most of the way back. Waiting for the guys to finish up the practice session. I am still trying to figure out why I can't get any of this stuff to load automatically like it's supposed to, but I will keep punching it in the face. There we go. Whatever I did right there is making it work. I don't know. Yeah, all that came on. Okay. I don't know why it's being so cantankerous. Some kind of communication issue, it seems like, but we are looking like we're back up and ready to go. So I think they are going to try to get a little bit of the track worked in. Looking for a little bit of a different race in round number 2. DL Lemon's still getting a few laps in. I think they're going to advance us here just shortly. This will be our random draw for heats. They'll run the heats off, and then we will start the feature. There will be a invert. Only have 16 of the original 18 drivers, so probably still 3 heats, 6, 5, and 5. Well, doesn't look like it. Looks like we're going to go straight to the field. Oh, you know what? They did change that. That's right. They did change that. And they changed that for a random draw feature. So, let's have some fun with this. Brandon and Gray. Row number, whoa. Wow. What a front row. Snyder and Turnbull. Wow, another great row. That's row number 2. Laird and Gerlach in row number 3. Hooper and Cossack, row 4. Gregorian and Barros, row 5. Brochart and Lynn in row 6. Anelski and Yankee, row 7. Lemon and Gebhardt, row number 8. So the front of this thing still stacked right up. We might have a couple of shuffles here. Well, we'll roll them up. Brandon not going to be on the pole. If Gray is able to stay on the front row, that'll be interesting because Colton Snyder is rocketing out to the front. Reed Brochart going to the front row. He's going to go to the pole position. It's the 93 of Brochart. Snyder looks like he's going to sit outside at least the front row, if not the second row. Wow. And even Brochart's not going to the front row because David Krikorian just scooched past him and got behind the pace car. So it looks like he'll be outside of row number 1. Then Robert Lynn and Colton Snyder in row 2. Kyle Hooper in row 3 on the inside. It looks like Rylan Gray is lining up in the same spot. They're going to have to extend this caution. They don't have a choice. That looked like Mike Gebhardt coming up to get on the outside of the 3rd row. Turnbull's inside row number 5, it looks like. Who is that? Is that DL Lemon on the outside? It surely is in row number 4. Tebow Brandon will line up behind that on the outside of row 5 next to James Turnbull. Josh Gerlach inside row number 6. And it looks like Barros has the inside of row number 7. And Anelski is right there as well. So, Barros and Anelski going to swap spots. That'll put Anelski inside that row with Barros on the outside. Then Laird and Yankee and Cossack. So they're still figuring things out just a little at the front. We're getting ready for the green flag. Brochart and Krikorian, then Lynn and Snyder, Hooper and Gebhardt, Gray and Lemon, Turnbull and Brannon, That's how they're going to lap.
Green flag, green flag.
3 wide out of turn number 2 for second contact. Lynn Hooper. That opens things up for Turnbull. He fires it into turns 3 and 4, and he'll come out with fourth. Caution behind the 11. Has issues in the 8 car. Bobby Youngkin hit the fence pretty hard behind that, but here's where the caution came from. The 11 got sideways right there, and Bobby Youngkin was still coming along. And that triggered the caution period. So it still doesn't look like there is a lot to lean on up there on the top side of turns 1 and 2. A lot of fluff, but no substance. So we're looking at third place, Robert Lynn right there. Brochart, Krikorian 1-2. They're waiting for the pace truck. I'm not sure if they're waiting for the pace truck or not. They just seem to be kind of cruising along. Brochart, Krikorian, Lynn, Hooper, Gray, Turnbull, Snyder, Gerlach, Brandon, Panelski, Barros, Gebhardt, Yonke, Kozik, Laird, and Lemon. As they sort this all out and get everybody squared away. Probably get the one to go signal the next time. We come around out of 3 and 4. Appreciate everybody hanging out with us. Uh-oh. Blinky blink. Bye-bye, Reed Brochart. Uh-oh, something happened. Now he's back. Lights not off on our pace vehicle yet. Back of Brochart's car. So it looks like we're going green to this time. Brochart ready to get us back under the green flag. Maybe not. Maybe we're going to extend this one more lap. We'll know in a second. Now that pace truck is sitting right down there in the infield.
Green flag, green flag.
Says the green flag is out, but these guys staying at pace speed. And now Brochart on the hammer and away from the field he goes. Corian's still second. Robert Lynn still third. Colton Snyder's looking on the inside, try to take that spot away. He's got Hooper lined up behind that. Turnbull is tucked in right behind Hooper. And then here comes Brandon. Brandon and Turnbull with a little bit of contact. That opens the door. And Tebow Brandon picks up a couple of spots as David Krikorian in the 66 car going to have an issue. Oh, he and Kyle Hooper making contact twice. That was a swapping of lanes and just a little bit of a coming together. So that'll change things at the front just a little bit. Brochart, Snyder, Lynn, Hooper, Turnbull, the top 5. Brandon, Gerlach, Barros, Onelski, Yonke, Cossack, Lemon, Gephardt, Laird,
Green, green, green.
Ryland Gray out of this one. Already out. So bad luck in round 1, out in round 2 early. And somebody who very consistently has podium finishes will not see the podium on time this season. Unless he watches the broadcast and checks out the interviews. Battle for the lead. Snyder went after Brochart, had to check it down. Hooper takes advantage and grabs second away. 3 wide for 4th place. Lynn, Turnbull, and Brandon were all side by side by side. The last time out of 4. Not going to get that way this time, and Brandon is going to hang on at least momentarily. Robert Lynn up to the top shelf, and he's really got some momentum. He just cannot finish passes at the end of these straightaways. Oh, Turnbull sideways. Caution. Tucked in the IQ over in 1 and 2. Good set of corners. He'll get down the back stretch. And down here 3 and 4. Too close to the wall with the left front tire. Certain things you can't do in an open wheel car. That is one. You can't touch any of the tires to the concrete barriers because the reaction is just, well, it's really negative. All right, 26 laps remaining. Pace truck about to get out of the way. Hooper with the lead. Going to get a 3 started. Brochart and Snyder in the battle for second. Side by side out of 2. Snyder looks like he's got the advantage down the backstretch. That door open. Tebow Brandon says, well, thank you. I'm going to jump in here. I'm going to throw my hat back onto a podium spot. Pulled up alongside Snyder down to 1 and 2 and wasn't able to complete the pass. Hooper, Snyder, Brandon. Brochart in 4th. Gerlach making a run for 5th, trying to pass Robert Lynn. Cossack with a big slider in 1 and 2, and he gives up a spot to Barros. Tight quarters racing right there with these 2. They are nearly touching in every corner. That time Cossack goes by. Here comes Bobby Yonke. Yonke going to go 2 for 1 as he muscles his way through. Move Yonke to 7th. Now Cossack just getting muscled all over the place. He is going to fall all the way to the back of this thing, right in front of Gephardt back there.
All right, man. Caution is out.
Lemon and Cossack. And I think this one's a DL Lemon, and he may have overcooked himself down here in 3 and 4. He did not. He got, well, he just got speared right there. That's all I can say. So Cossack maybe just a little frustrated from getting moved around so much and went down and wanted to use the same tactics, and he spears the left side of Lemon's car. And so will pay for that, and he'll move to the back right behind the 22 of Cossack. As we're coming down, 20 to go, 15 in. And we're going to go back to green with Hooper once again in front of Brandon. Now up on the second step of the podium was 3rd the last time around, Colton Snyder. Reed Brochart 3rd and 4th. Robert Lynn trying to hang on for a top 5 here. Long way to go. Gerlach's right there. Yonke's right there. Barros is right there. And Robert Lynn making waves up on the top. Not way to the outside by the fence, but right underneath the fluff right there. He's got some momentum. He's going to challenge on Brochart for 4th. Hooper's still holding it down out front, side by side for 2nd and 3rd behind that. But Brandon trying to put all kinds of pressure on your leader. Now, here comes Snyder off the top side. Colton Snyder going to take his run at the point. Hooper with a slider, wasn't able to get there. Snug. Snyder going to lead to that lap. Hooper second, Brandon third. Robert Lynn is dispatched with Reed Brochart now, and he is focusing on trying to run down the guys in front of him. All the podium spots right in front of the 2-car. Brandon trying to use the slider line, just not able to get to a position where he can complete that move to the outside and use the momentum to cut off the 14. And Hooper squirts away from him. Robert Lynn, however, reeling in Tebow Brandon. Well, Timmy, what are you doing on that account? Yeah, I need to get that stuff to you this weekend so you get some approval on it so we can get it ready for publication. Snyder starting to get away, almost 3/4 of a second out in front of Kyle Hooper. Hooper has made his way away from Tebow Brandon, and Brandon has broke free of Robert Lynn for the time being. So the top 3 with 10 to go, pretty secure. Everything is behind that, and it is just a funnel into every corner, and everybody trying to stay off of each other right here. They're almost single file. Gerlach, the only one stepping out of line. Now he comes to his senses, moves to the top side, and gets into the Congo line around the top of I-55 Speedway. Robert Lynn after Tebow Brandon. Brandon slipped at 3 and 4 in the battle for the final podium spot now up for grabs side by side with 7 to go this time by. Brandon able to hang on. Snyder 1.25 seconds out in front. Hooper still second. He's got about 8/10 on the third place car of Brandon. Lynn in fourth, and he's got company with Barros and Brochart. We're coming around to the wave lap. 5 laps to go. This time by, and Snyder totally in command of race number 2. He's going to be in lap traffic before we get to the end of this one. Good long green flag run here, and it has really benefited Colton Snyder. Now Brandon and Hooper starting to heat things up for the other 2 podium spots. 3 to go this time. Closing in on the leader. He had trouble in lap traffic, clearing Gephardt. 2 to go. Hooper trying to clear the lap car. Slider line. Gephardt checks. That's going to get into Brandon. Brandon's going to have to save the car. Now Lynn's going to be in the fray. White flag this time around. Snyder and Hooper just need to finish things out. Can Brandon hang on? Here comes Turnbull. Last-ditch effort for Turnbull. Not going to get it. Snyder wins it. Hooper second. Brandon third. Turnbull fourth, and Lynn fifth. Yeah, I read all the posts, Jimmy. Sent you the message earlier. Let's try to talk maybe tomorrow and see what we can do here. I got to get a few things done, but I started working on that last night. I worked for just a few minutes. All right, 2 third-place finishes in a row, and we're going to talk to the driver of the 49, his second time on the bottom step of the podium. Bo, third is just your spot here tonight, buddy.
I guess so, yeah. I had 2 second-place finishes last week and 2 third-place finishes this week, so I've at least got some consistency back, so I can't be too mad about that. I really had I feel like I had Kyle there in the last 5 laps or so. I just got into the side of the lap car there, which killed all of the momentum. I had him earlier, about 10 laps to go. He kind of just slid up just enough to kind of knock my tires off the ground a little bit, and so that killed a lot of momentum a couple different times. I'd be curious to see that race go back without some of that contact. How if I had anything for Colton even, but I feel like I had Kyle for sure. But props to him, props to Colton. They both drove great races. Sometimes that's just the way it shakes out. But third place, can't complain. I've really needed the consistency lately, and it's good to finish some races and finish them in the podium. So.
Well, we got a few weeks left. Maybe we'll see the completion of that, and you can get a couple of ones. How about that?
Yeah, that would be great too. I've been really close all year. It feels like. I don't know if I've won.
Not this year.
I might have won one. Yeah, I don't think so.
A bunch of second place finishes that I remember though.
Yeah, it's still eluding me, I suppose, but I've at least been consistent. It was a really great points night, that's for sure. I came in, I think, third, and I'll be interested to see how that shakes out. So.
All right, man. Give us a couple shout-outs before we let you get out of here.
Yeah, just thanks once again to everybody I thanked in the first race, Varix.com, for all your e-commerce needs. I'm going to thank my lovely wife second, even though she's first in my heart. Thanks to my parents. Thanks to you, Roger. Thanks to Josh and Robert for putting on a great show every week. And I still don't know who sponsored tonight, but thank you to them for sponsoring the broadcasts. A lot of people enjoy it, so appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, man. Congrats again. We'll look forward to seeing you next week.
Thanks.
Tebow Brandon, third for the second time this evening. And now, let's talk to the driver that finished second. He drives the 14 car. Kyle Hooper, you had a heck of a run going in the second race for sure tonight, man.
Yeah, took advantage early on the race. It's just, probably it wasn't the best idea to be on the lead in the tacky track like this for sure.
Yeah, hard to tell where the actual momentum is going to come from, but you battled hard. You had a couple of good contenders there, and a second place finish here in round number 2. Nothing to be too upset about. Good night of racing for the 14 machine.
Yes, sir, it was.
All right, man. Well, we're going to keep these short this evening. Give us a couple of shout-outs, some thank yous, and we're going to let you celebrate an awesome evening of racing in the Netcode Esports Mighty Midget Series.
I'd like to thank Elite Performance Industries, Tyler Payne, Ryland Gray Racing, Ryan Hodge Racing, Superior Auto Salvage, Sawyer Chassis. That's it.
All right. Well, I don't know what happened to our winner, but Kyle, thank you for chatting with us, and we'll look forward to seeing you back next week, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Our winner just bailed out. I wanted to talk to him an extra couple seconds. I kept the other two a little bit shorter. I don't know where Colton took off to. Doesn't look like I'm going to get to interview the winner tonight, but, man, he drove a great race in the second race for sure to get out there to the front. He found out where the momentum was at, and he just drove kind of past everybody and then drove away for the most part. But kind of a shame we're not going to get to chat with him. But I was looking at that, and he vanished out of the park. So guess we won't do anything for the winner tonight. Not typically how we handle it, but unfortunately, we get no choice. So let's look at our results before we close things out for the evening. And that's not going to come up either. Great. Snyder, Hooper, Brandon. That's your top 3. Turnbull in 4th. Lynn 5th. Barrow 6th. Brochart 7th. Gerlach 8th. Laird was 9th. Yankee 10th. 11th to Krikorian. Anelski in 12th. DLM in 13th. 14th was Mike Geppert. Josh Kosick in 15th. And 16th was Ryland Gray. I don't know why Gray ducked out early, but he did. So did not finish the first one very well. Maybe he just had problems in the second one, decided that was enough. Phooey, I'm out of here. Another great week for the Netcode Esports Mighty Midgets. Pretty good shows as always. A lot of fun watching these guys get around out here, and the interviews are always great. These guys do a good job. Hope everybody enjoyed the show tonight. Do not forget about Sunday night, 8 o'clock Eastern. Be back for Mars as they kick off their new season, fall 23 and spring 24. Going to be a fun show. Guys on the pavement. But I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Guys, without you, no reason for us to cover this stuff. And without all the great leagues, there is absolutely nothing for us to cover. So all the thank yous in the appropriate places to everybody for that. Till we see you guys again